Alright, in today's video we're going to do something a little bit different. Today we're going to do a updated collection. And with the new addition of the BNSF, you're going to see that later today. But with the addition of the new BNSF, it's been a bit since I posted a new collection video. In fact, looking back, I haven't posted one at all. And I don't have the biggest collection, as I'm sure you've seen in the past videos. But I just want to give a quick share out to the world what I have right now and how it's going to grow over the next couple of years. And right now, we are in the years where my collection is probably about to explode in growth. So anyways, let's get into it. So first off, we have these 3 engines. And these were my first ever engines. This was actually my first. This 060 Bachmann Union Pacific. This was my first ever train. I got this back in 2016 when I was 10. So this thing is 6 years old, I believe. Yeah, 6 years old. This is my dad's. I took it when I started my layout. So again, 6 years old. Or not 6 years old, more, way older than that. But I've owned it for 6 years, me personally. And I don't know what type of locomotive what type it is. It's a Rock Island, but I'm not sure which type. And then we have this GP40, I believe. Canadian Pacific. I got this back in 2016 as well. Christmas. These 2 locomotives here were Christmas. And this one still holds a special place in my heart. It doesn't have the flashiest details on it. It's a Bachmann. Older Bachmann. And the legs aren't great in that, but it still holds a special place in my heart. Great locomotive. It is missing its front coupler. So is this one. But it's still a great locomotive. I still do like it. That's why I love Canadian Pacific. I do look to get more Canadian Pacifics in the future. So moving on, this is about maybe half a year to a year into the hobby. Actually, I do remember getting this one a couple months later. This is a Roundhouse F7 Amtrak. And I always wanted an Amtrak back in the day. And this is when I kind of left the hobby. So 2016, I entered the hobby, then left it in 2017. And then I kind of came back in 2018, 2019, in the last couple of years. And this is the first locomotive I got when I came back. F7, not the most detailed, it's a Roundhouse, but it still runs like a champ. My only problem with it is there is a light in there, and I will eventually disassemble this and see how I can get that light to work in there, because I think this thing looks sick with the light. I do like the B unit on this thing. It's cool. It has some weight to it. And then I discovered this. This is my dad's also. He got this at work back in the day. Little 040 Baltimore and Ohio switcher. And again, none of us detailed. Not sure what type it is. I believe it's an old Athearn. The Rock Island was an old Bachmann. But yeah, I was taking it around one day and I found this locomotive. And luckily I still have some of my dad's old cars. And I can use this locomotive, right? So, just a cool find that I found one day. And I'll probably do a couple videos of this guy. Even though it's a pain to run because all the cars do relics have plastic wheels compared to these where it's metal. Anyways, let's get on to the next batch. Alright, next up, I'd say I got all these engines within a year. Actually, a year or two. A year ago or 2 years ago. And these are all great models. These are all Athearn. Athearn Southern Pacific, number 8138. And these are all C44-9s. This is when I came, you could tell, this is when I had an obsession with big locomotives. And the first one I got that started this trend, and this is probably hold a special place in my heart because of how well this thing performs, is this Norfolk Southern C44-9 number 9670 gauge wide cab. And this thing is so good. I believe I bought this one cheap. I bought this one for $89. This one for $90. This one was $110. This one was the most expensive C44-9, and I love the paint scheme, the older Union Pacific than the letters. Southern Pacific, and most importantly, Norfolk Southern. This is my first one. I bought this back in June 2019, so 3 years. So it's a little bit older. Paint. Athearn did a good job with this with the painting, I think. I bought this one back in 2020, during just before COVID hit, actually. This is Union Pacific, and in January, it still runs great. Lighting, and that's what I do love. The lighting Athearn does on DC locomotives is incredible. And this locomotive as well, this Southern Pacific, I bought this back in 2021, not 2021, I bought this in 2020, closer to 2022. I think I bought this when I bought my Amtrak, and you're about to see that come up soon. But these three hold a very special place in my heart, and this one for sure cracks my top 5 for my favorite locomotives in my collection. Maybe even top 3. We'll see. But all great locomotives. I do recommend if you can get them at a good price. They're quiet. Lighting's great. I believe this is blue and the rest are orange, which makes me love this even more. Anyways, let's get into the next batch. So the next batch here we have is a Milwaukee Road and an Amtrak, and I do believe that I got this locomotive before I did get this locomotive before I got the Milwaukee Road. I remember buying the Milwaukee Road sometime last year. I remember going to the store. I'm like, all right, I want a Milwaukee Road. Actually, I remember buying it this year in November, and I bought this the year before. So I bought the Amtrak last year. I bought this Milwaukee Road this December. And what I love about this Amtrak, even though it's a steep price, it's $150 for a DC locomotive, the lighting is incredible. It's a Kato, and Kato makes amazing locomotives. I mean, just looking inside, it was on display one day. I'm like, I'm gonna get that. Honestly, I had Kato couplers, which I swapped out. It was a pain, but I got it done. Don't recommend, but I do love this locomotive. The detail is amazing. The speed is amazing. You can go so slow. The lights being great. The details Kato put into this thing is a beauty. It's a beautiful locomotive. And then I believe this is a Athearn. I want to say this is an Athearn locomotive. Athearn. Oh no. Yeah, it is. This is the Athearn Milwaukee Road. $120. So back to back, pretty expensive locomotives. And I will say I wasn't the biggest fan of it, but now it's grown on me. I do love this. Is a GP40-2. Love the little headlight, little flasher up top. Details in the fans is amazing. You can see how much detail they put into this guy. Handlebars on the ladder are amazing. Handbrakes are there. It's great. I love to see that. Not so much on the back side, but it is what it is. I also, if we come over here back to the collection, moving these out section by section, I also bought this locomotive this year. I think it was a month within buying the Milwaukee Road. This Chicago and Northwestern switcher, not sure what type. I don't know if it's R2 or what type, but I love it. The lighting is great. Atlas did a great job on this locomotive. It's $110, I want to say, maybe more. Great locomotive. Yeah, just an overall great locomotive. Couplers aren't even that bad. Directional lighting is great. Detail is great. I say it rivals Kato, these two engines in detail. For lighting, just parts, it's amazing. Anyways, let's get on to our final batch of locomotives. And finally, here are our last locomotives that were bought this year. And you're about to see a trend happen. And it'll be after this first locomotive that we go over here. This I bought back in October. I came back from visiting my sibling in Eau Claire. My eBay package actually arrived today when we weren't home, so it was sitting in the cool all day, which isn't great. But this locomotive is a 282 Pennsylvania steamer. I am looking to get passenger cars for this as we speak. I'm just not finding good deals on eBay right now. Either broken or overpriced for what they are. This was $100, under $100. I bought this one for $100. It was my first ever big steam locomotive. As you can see, we have these little guys right here and here, but this is my first ever big locomotive, and I was so happy when I saw it. I'm like, all right, first locomotive, it's an IHC locomotive. It's a great locomotive. And finally, these two locomotives have something very similar in common, and if it is turning out this way, I may buy from this company a lot more. These two are Walther mainline locomotives. And as you've seen in my video, and I'm going to post the video after this video, a couple days after this video, these two locomotives are really, really well detailed. Look inside. The fans, details, obviously the handrails aren't that detailed. You don't have grab irons or brake handles in the front. But again, you get what you pay for this locomotive. I got this thing on sale for $86. It would be $109. I bought this one for $110, roughly, give or take. The CSX, and at the time, these were the two railroad types I was missing. I was missing CSX, and I was missing BNSF, and these two really completed the collection. I went to Wolfer's Mainline at the store. I'm like, all right, we gotta find something here at Hiawatha Hobbies. Something's gonna be on price. They both were, and they were both the type I was looking for. I'm like, wow. This is an SD70 ACE. This is an SD60 ACE, I believe. Both very similar. You can tell the difference in the fans and just how it's built. CSX is a little bit bigger, number 4836, BNSF 8190. But that completes the collection of the railroads that I got. I got CSX, I have BNSF, I have Milwaukee Road, I have Amtrak, I have Chicago, and I have Southern Pacific, I have Union Pacific, I have Norfolk Southern. And I have 7 Amtrak, I have Union Pacific Steam Train, I have the Rock Island, I have the Canadian Pacific, and then some smaller railroads, which aren't that small, but not as big as the other ones I just named off, are Pennsylvania Railroad, Chicago Northwestern Railroad, and Baltimore, Ohio. That's smaller switcher. But this really completed it, and I was really happy that Wolfer's Mainline, it's pretty is budget friendly. But it's still well detailed, as you'll see in the video coming up. You'll see the details in the lighting, how well it is, how well done it is. But anyways, that is the video. And here is the collection. I'll give you a down the line shot. And this is only going to get bigger. Remember, this is my fourth year in. And with me getting 2 jobs this summer, this is only going to grow. I wouldn't be surprised if we had 30 locomotives at the end of the year. We're halfway there. Let's see if we can get 30 locomotives at the end of the year. I can get that. I can do that from eBay, buying a couple. 30 might be a bit excessive. Let's say 25. 10 more locomotives at the end of this year. And so in total, if you want a recap of how many, what I buy from, I have 2 Wolfer mainlines, 1 IHC, 1, 2, 3, 4 Athearn locomotives, 1 Carlo, 1 Atlas, and this is another Athearn, so 4 Athearn, 1 Roundhouse. Kind of shaky on Roundhouse, so I just didn't like this product, but it's still a good locomotive. Don't get me wrong. And 3 Bachmann, right here, old Bachmann. So I might try a new Bachmann. There's a steamer that I might get. So yeah, that's the collection, and it's only gonna grow. This hobby's that's what makes this hobby amazing. Railroads I'm missing, potentially that I could get. CN Railroad, get a new Rock Island Railroad. I'm looking at a Rio Grande one. I'm looking at an older BNSF, Burlington Northern, and I am looking at Super Chief Union or Santa Fe. Anyways, that's the video. I know we are at 48 subscribers, and this video is long, so let's try to get to 50 subscribers by the end of the by Monday Only 2 subscribers. That's all it takes. Anyways, this was a lot of fun to make. Pulling out my collection. If you want to see me do a collection of rolling stock, again, it won't be the biggest, but I will make it happen. Anyways, that's the video. I'm out. Peace.